Hey everybody! Michael and I, plus my brother Marshall and sister-in-law Mary, recently had a really fun long weekend on San Andrés Island in the Caribbean Sea, which we vlogged and posted here on our channel. But after the trip, I wanted to learn a little bit more about the island myself, and I thought I would share some of the history and culture with you here in this video. Please enjoy riding along with us in the golf cart that we rented for the weekend while I read from a few websites to learn more about San Andrés. These golf cart clips are posted in no particular order, but we really enjoyed riding around and exploring this beautiful island. San Andrés is a coral island in the Caribbean Sea. It is politically tied to the country of Colombia, South America, and is located about 470 miles northwest of the coast of Colombia. It is the largest island in the Colombian department of the archipelago. It is about 8 miles long and 1.9 miles wide, and it has an area of 10 square miles. The road that circles the island is about 19 miles long and passes many picturesque beaches, coral reefs, cays, blowholes, and caves. It has a fairly flat topography, with the highest point reported to be about 180 feet above sea level. There is a small mountain range that runs from north to south, with the highest peak known as Cerro La Loma. San Andrés soils indicate that it was formed due to the eruption of a volcano that threw rocks older than the seafloor to the surface, which created islands. The soil remains fertile and is mostly made of red clay. San Andrés is also historically tied to the United Kingdom, and the official languages are Spanish, English, and San Andrés Providencia Creole. The island is surrounded by the warm Caribbean Sea and has become an exotic holiday destination. In 2000, it was declared a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve to ensure that the ecosystem, which is rich in biodiversity, is well preserved and conserved. Before 1492, in the pre-Columbian times, the island of San Andrés and other small islands that make up the archipelago were already frequented by members of the Mosquito people during their traditional marine hunting activities. These people lived along the present-day Honduran and Nicaraguan coastline and referred to the main island as Abacoa. Historical records state that Christopher Columbus visited San Andrés during his fourth exploration voyage between 1492 and 1500. Documentation about the island began in the 16th century with the Spanish mapping of the Caribbean Sea, with San Andrés first appearing on maps in 1527. The history of the archipelago includes stories of pirate invasions and occupations of the island. The Dutch came across these islands at the end of the 16th century, and then English settlers from Barbados in 1628, who promptly evicted the Dutch settlers by 1631. Slaves were brought from Jamaica in 1633 to work in lumbering and grow cotton and tobacco. In 1635, the Spanish realized the economic importance of San Andrés and attacked the archipelago, but were driven out soon after. Privateers also easily attacked the Spanish ships carrying gold and other precious materials because the convoy system of the Spanish treasure fleets made travel very difficult and dangerous. The bounty looted by privateers is still believed to be hidden in some underwater cave to this day. After Spain failed to invade the islands, England occupied them until 1787, at which point they agreed to concede control to Spain. In 1792, Spain informed the archipelago that they were now under Spanish rule, and Catholicism was spread throughout the islands. A church was built and run by its own priest. By 1803, San Andrés became a dependent viceroyalty of New Granada for political and economic reasons. In 1810, New Granada declared independence from Spain, and the government granted land titles to both English and Spanish-speaking families of the islands. In 1818, independent forces of Simón Bolívar occupied the islands, and they became part of Gran Colombia in 1822. In 1821, a constitution was issued that determined every child born in Colombia was born as a free citizen in an effort to eventually abolish slavery, including on San Andrés. San Andrés was officially declared a free port in 1848, and in 1851, slavery was abolished completely by the Colombian Constitution, which in turn led to a successful literacy movement. In 1902, two commissioners of U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt came to San Andrés by boat and requested that the islands become part of Panama, but the proposals were rejected outright as unpatriotic, proving the island's loyalty to the Republic of Colombia. In 1903, Panama became its own independent nation, and the islanders again refused to join the United States, even when they were visited by a U.S. warship that came that same year. The municipalities of San Andrés and Providencia were established in 1912 and in 1920, and the boundary treaty was signed between Colombia and Panama. Colombia entered World War II in November of 1943 after a German submarine sank one of their boats that was transporting British troops to San Andrés. San Andrés was reaffirmed as a free port, and in 1972, the archipelago was declared a special municipality. San Andrés became one of the departments of Colombia in 1991, and in 2000, the archipelago became a UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve. Today, the island's reported population is about 75,000 people. There is a continuous growth and influx of people from the mainland of Colombia, which currently forms about 2/3 of the island's population. The native islanders are all descendants of the African and European settlers that first inhabited the islands. The economy of the island was historically largely dependent on fishing resources and meager agricultural production, until the opening of air services from mainland Colombia in the 1950s, followed by a 1954 declaration of the island as a duty-free zone. This brought a large influx of tourism to the island in addition to the immigrants from the mainland, the majority of which are of Lebanese descent. Tourism has greatly increased over the past few decades. All right, everybody, I think that's enough information about the history of San Andrés Island. We had an absolutely fabulous time visiting and hope we can come back someday. We went snorkeling and saw all kinds of amazing fish, and we went scuba diving as well, stayed in a beautiful hostel, ate some delicious food, had an absolutely awesome time on San Andrés, and I would highly recommend it. If you want to check out our vlogs on San Andrés, they were published in August of 2024, and you can see everything that we did while we were there for about 3 full days. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you another day in another one. Bye, everybody.